Hey everybody, how's it going? I did not trip running up the stairs, so that is a huge win. My name is Ryan Deutsch. I am Chief Customer Officer at Bluecore. We are a personalization platform that focuses on helping retailers, only retailers, leverage data to drive revenue from their shoppers. I am only part of the presentation today. In a few minutes, I'm going to be introducing Sami Lockerby with Jockey, who is going to give you some very practical examples about how they think of driving profitable customer relationships. So let's get right into the content. I've been doing digital marketing in retail for about 20 some odd years. Since 1999, actually. I will tell you, if anyone is just starting their eTail careers, this happens at about year 10. People will tell you it doesn't. It does, trust me. As a retailer, I'll tell you what happened to me on a good day. On a good day, I would get into the office, or I would open the computer at home. I would be able to look at yesterday's year-over-year performance. I would be able to form hypotheses about why we were winning or why we were losing from a year-over-year comp perspective, and I would be able to send my boss an email explaining those hypotheses and my actions before he emailed me, which was really difficult because our daily reporting came out at 6:08, and usually I got my email as to what the hell happened at 6:10. It's hard to be a retailer. It's even harder today. So in 2023, as we all look to engage shoppers, we're facing a myriad of challenges that I didn't face 6 years ago when I was running e-commerce. We're facing inflation that's causing our shoppers to protect their wallets a little bit closer. We're facing carryover issues from supply chains and inventories that are affecting sales. It kind of just doesn't stop. And on top of all of it, the cost to acquire customers is skyrocketing. So if you're getting emails from your bosses in the morning and they're asking you, what are you doing to drive results and outcomes, what do you do? What's your knee-jerk reaction? Is it this? More emails, more ads, more promos. It's what a lot of us do because we need impact today. The problem with this is more usually results in less. Hey, Ryan, thanks for joining. Ryan Hoffman, Forever 21, everybody, a little bit late. Let's hear it for Ryan. Come on. He was going to heckle me later anyway, so I just beat him to it. So the answer isn't more, not more discounting, not more volume. The answer is focusing in two key areas. The first and most important is your best customers. The single greatest asset and what drives value in any retail organization is the lifetime value of your loyal customers. That's the first thing you have to think about doing. Because nearly, at least what we saw in our Bluecore benchmark report last year, which you can find at www.bluecore.com, at least 70% of the transactions that happen in e-commerce are coming from under 40% of your customers. And the most active engaged customers in that segment likely account for up to 80% of total revenue. This is where you have to focus. It's not more, it's just doing a better job for the customers that are shopping with you and are loyal. So that's number one, focus on current customers, and it's going to be a big part of what Sami is going to talk about in a minute. Number two, our shoppers are in the market actively paying attention and engaging with your brand for a very, very small part of each of their days. Somewhere between 3 and 5%. The rest of their time, just like yours, is spent working, sleeping, socializing, eating, etc. It's incredibly important that we're able to capture signals from our shoppers while they're in market and respond while it matters. The effectiveness of any signal we capture from a shopper gets less and less the more distant we get from that signal. So it's incredibly important that we notice those signals and we respond. And that is essentially what Bluecore does. So we have a platform that watches both customer and product activity. We take that insight and build audiences, combining customer and catalog or product data to create and deliver experiences that are highly relevant for the shoppers that are loyal to your brand. So with that, as an introduction, remember, two things that are really important. What are they? What's the first one? What are we focused on? Customers. Kara Trevinovic. Yeah, I know you too. That doesn't count. Kara's listening. Customers. We're focusing on our best customers and not you three. What's the second thing that we need to do? One word begins with an S. Somebody shout it out or we're going to be stuck on this slide. Signals. Signals. We've got to capture signals from our shoppers. So to help us understand or share some examples of how that happens, I'm going to introduce in just a second Sami Lockerby, who's head of retention marketing at Jockey. Sami has been doing digital marketing for about 15 years. 7 of that at Jockey. She's worked at other brands like Target. And I think she's a phenomenal person to join us here today because she's all about simplification in our programs to use data to drive outcomes. So please, 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 an incredibly warm welcome for Sami Lockerby from Jockey. Sami, warmer. There we go. There you go.
Thank you, Ryan. Hello. I'm Sami, and I am really fortunate because I work for a company that has been around for over 100 years. And we've been through like every change in the retail industry that you can possibly imagine. When we think about this concept of like driving more profit from our existing customers, it's like basic, right? Everybody wants to do it, or most certainly our leaders hope that's what we're trying to do every single day. But then when you try to develop like strategies and tactics to achieve this, it can be really daunting. Like, where do we even start? For us, we wanted to ground ourselves first in understanding who is our customer, identifying some key segments, and then assigning them really specific goals to measure success. Bottom line, we wanted to increase our share of wallet. And we wanted to do this by focusing on creating superior experiences for our new subscribers. We wanted to focus on driving a second purchase for our one-time buyers. And we wanted to increase the lifetime value of our repeat buyers. So let's take a look at some examples of how we've been approaching this at Jockey. When we were thinking about our new subscribers, we really wanted to create better experiences. And a lot of times when you think about new subscribers, we talk about things like the Welcome Series. But the reality of it is, there's a huge number of customers that are getting through your Welcome Series and they're still not buying. And we found ourselves like wondering, what's next? How do we engage with this customer? And what we knew we didn't want to happen is because since they were new subscribers and since they hadn't purchased, we didn't have a ton of those signals that Ryan talked about.
Sami was listening.
I was listening. And so because we didn't have those signals, we wanted to prevent these customers from falling into this cycle of like a high volume of really generic messaging. So a couple of things that we've been implementing at Jockey that's helped. First, we've implemented send time optimization. And this is a really simple way to prevent your customers from receiving too many messages, reducing the complexity, reducing the volume of messages. And what was really interesting for us is when we implemented send time optimization, what we found is the time that we had historically been sending our campaigns was not the time that most of our customers were opening their email. We were further away from that 1% of the time that Ryan talked about just a few minutes ago. And by testing it with a low-risk consumer segment, because again, remember, they haven't yet generated a purchase. The sales risk is low. We were able to quickly scale it for other consumer segments as well. Another thing that when we think about new subscribers that we really wanted to focus on is capturing behavior signals. For us, when we think about new subscribers, we're talking about things like clicks. We're not yet worried about driving that purchase. They're a new subscriber, and they might just not be ready, and that's okay. But we need to get some sort of behavioral signal on these customers so that we can better create meaningful communications to them. A couple examples that you can see on screen behind me are examples of content testing that we've done. And I want to be clear, these are not curated emails. Within the Bluecore platform, you can create dynamic product or content blocks, and then scale those across any campaign that you'd like with a set of rules. And you can do that quickly because, again, they're dynamic. You don't have to code, set up 3 million campaigns, and hope that you're sending it at the right time. Again, with new email subscribers, for us, it's about doing more with less, reducing the complexity by sending less with send time optimization, but at the right time, and then developing some dynamic content that can scale quickly. Through these types of programs, we've seen a 22% increase in clicks from our new email subscribers. Another segment that was really important for us and made up a large portion of our consumer or email subscriber file was our one-time buyers. And with our one-time buyers, the metric of success for us was conversion. We weren't worried yet about AOV or the number of items in their basket or even what was in their basket. What we wanted was to drive that second purchase. Because similar to those new subscribers, these customers have only bought one time. And so we don't have a ton of behavioral signals on them yet. But what we do have at Jockey is some really great customer insights through our own internal systems. And I believe Ryan mentioned earlier, we also have a really powerful product catalog integration within the Bluecore platform. And really what this allows us to do is understand what other customers who are repeat buyers, what are they most frequently buying? What products are most likely to create a second purchase? And once you are a two-time purchaser, are you buying across the same category? Are you buying in new product lines? The other thing that we've been able to do is once we've understood these consumer segments, is then develop some campaigns that, again, are dynamic and can quickly scale. For us, two of the examples that I wanted to share with you today that have been really powerful for us are hidden gems and cash cows. Hidden gems are products identified through our product catalog integration with Bluecore that allow us to see individual products that are not getting a ton of views, but are converting at a really, really high rate once they are getting that view. And then cash cows, that's basically like our trending products. And like who better to tell us what products are gonna drive a purchase than our customers themselves, the products that are driving that revenue. And you can see on the screen here that obviously this data is obfuscated because I'm not gonna share all of the secrets, but if you were in the platform, you'd also be able to see individualized product revenue within the last week. You can see things like conversion rate on these individual products. And again, for us, what we've seen by implementing this type of campaign and then combining our retail data, our product catalog data, and the behavioral signals for our one-time buyers, we've seen a 13% increase in consumers moving from a one-time buyer to a repeat purchaser. And then finally, we're all of these efforts, streamlining these communications for the new subscribers and the one-time buyers, it's really allowing us to spend more of our time where it mattered. Like Ryan said, a huge portion of our revenue comes from these active subscribers. And we wanted to make sure that we were spending that time wisely. We wanted to nurture these repeat purchasers to drive incremental growth for the brand. And this is where we wanted to develop really strategic campaigns, do more of that journey mapping, understand what products we could introduce to these types of customers. We do things like introduce affinity models. So again, within the Bluecore platform, what you're able to do is identify categories that consumers are likely to have an affinity to. So the example you're seeing here on the screen is we built a category preference to our women's allowance collection, and we assigned it to customers who had a medium high to a very high likelihood to purchase this product. And if you're wondering, women's allowance, it is one of our top-selling underwear collections. So yep, I'm in the underwear business. I couldn't not mention that at some point during this presentation. So we built this affinity model. We are also then able to layer in some likelihoods. So you can look at things like which customers have the product preference for women's allowance and who's really likely to make a purchase, high likelihood to convert. Or you could look at who's likely to click a campaign. Again, we have the signals on this customer, so we can build these predictive models really quickly and take out the human element of building a segment. And then once we build that segment, we're also able to develop content to support the message. And really what this has allowed us to do is increase our predictive lifetime value amongst our repeat buyers by 13%. and we've been able to build our active buyer list by 15%. But really, what all of this is about understanding our customer. And that's what the Bluecore platform has allowed us to do, to understand our customer and to quickly scale and build campaigns to achieve the ultimate goal, which was what we've been talking about this whole time of driving profit from our best assets.
Awesome. All right. How about it for, let's hear it for Sami. There's some great results. Yeah. Wow, you guys are great. You're invited to the next time we both speak. So key takeaways, right? So if we all go back and we listen to Sami and we go do what Sami says, which Sami says. Has that been a thing for you ever? No.
No.
Oh, Sami says?
No. No.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Simon says. Okay. So anyway, 4 key takeaways that we'll hit on. So first, where we have segments, new to file, where we don't have a lot of signals, a lot of data, be creative about how you capture those signals so that you can power personalization in the future. Things like send time optimization are a really good example. Second, don't overcomplicate things. Even when you have a first-time buyer, and I don't care how smart a model anyone says they have, that's still not a lot of signal. So how can we look at ways to introduce other insights to drive personalization? So merchant insights or merchant-related insights are a great example, like hidden gems or cash cows, right? How do we understand what's happening in our product catalog? Third, spend time on your most profitable customers, those that are actively shopping with you and represent 80% of your revenue. That's where signals exist, and that's where all this cool technology that you're hearing about from everyone today has the greatest impact. And then fourth, and I'll ask you about this, Sami, one more time, because I do think it's important. And I'll just ask. So Sami used the word curated, I think, when she talked about designing content to engage with customers based on signals. To me, curated means designed, right? I think we've all sit in those meetings where we're looking at the beautiful assets that have been created. So if you think about your programs, how many of your programs require curation, design elements? Who requires like heavy design elements in the program? Anybody? Just one of you is being honest back there. Thanks for being honest. You probably work for Restoration Hardware. They curate the hell out of stuff. Watch this. How many people no longer curate and the content that you present to customers is dynamic and immediately available in real time? No one. So none of you actually send anything or communicate with your customers. That's good. They'll really be able to value what we said.
Really, really important.
But yeah, I just wanted to, if you're not curating assets to leverage the signals and deliver relevant experiences, where are the assets coming from?
It's dynamic automation.
Right from the site.
Right from the site. And we also really power a lot of our campaigns through dynamic product blocks. So right through that product integration, we can personalize every single email we send.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest unlocks is use the assets that your customers are looking at every day on the site versus burning time rebuilding things from scratch. So we are just about it. That's all the time we have. Sami, again, thank you so much for joining me on stage. Thank you, everybody. We will be at booth 708 in the next break if you guys have any questions and want to stop by and say hi. And we will see you all at cocktail hour. I will not see you after 8 o'clock. I'm from Chicago. I've been doing this a long time, and I'll be in bed by 9:30. So thanks a lot, everybody. We appreciate it.